Hi, I'm Olivia Trujillo, and I play Alex in Borrego. I play a badass dirt bike riding tomboy who's raised by her single dad, who is also the sheriff, but she's not afraid to disobey him. She meets Ellie in the desert, and once she finds out her new friend is missing, she'll stop at nothing to find her. She's extremely determined, very rebellious, and has a lot of emotion in her. And I'm really excited for you guys to see the film. I'm sitting here with Elias on the Man Cave podcast.
Olivia, welcome to the cave.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Exciting times for you. The listeners, the viewers are going to see you on your new film Borrego with Lucy Hale and Nicholas Gonzalez. And how has this ride been for you so far? I mean, because when I was doing some research on you, I noticed you've done some TV, then you've done some voiceover work, and now boom, film. It's going to be an exciting, nice little ride for you.
It's been great. I love getting to do everything that's different. I love getting to be a part of everything. Voiceover is really great and it's very different. And then, TV is awesome. You're with people for a really long time and, you just evolve through every episode. And then film, I mean, this is one of my first feature films and it was unlike anything else. I mean, I couldn't have been happier with how it turned out and how everyone was. I mean, the cast is amazing and everyone did amazing.
Yeah. So before we jump into the film, one of the questions I always like to ask my guests is how did you fall in love with acting? What made you get into it?
I think that because I started so young, it didn't feel like acting. I sort of felt like I was just, getting to do something that was really fun. You would get a description of someone and I would just do it. It felt so natural to me to be someone else, which is so weird, but I didn't really have much concept of what I was doing because I was around 8 years old when I started.
Oh, wow.
So it just didn't feel like acting. It felt something that was just natural and fun. And I didn't have any concept that I was on TV or I was, on billboards or posters in stores. I was just like, I was doing it and then it was done. And, it was just, I mean, I love it. I grew to love it and I loved it the second I started.
What now, was the goal always film, or was it I'll start off in TV and maybe I'll get into voiceover work? What's the goal?
I think that once I really started to do commercials and I was doing it a lot, I knew I wanted more and I knew I wanted to keep going and I knew I really wanted to be an actor. And to me, commercials don't always feel like acting because it's such a short period of time and you don't really get to be someone in a 15-second commercial. Whereas in a film, you really get to be someone and you get to see their story you get to see them become who they are. So I think that once I started to do commercials, I knew I wanted to do film and I knew I wanted to do TV. I don't favor one over the other. I love them both. I've had great experiences doing both. So right now, I mean, I love getting to really improve and push forward. And I knew that's what I wanted.
Would you do more voiceover work?
I am doing more voiceover work.
That's awesome.
It's very interesting and it's a very new thing for me. It's not something I'm super used to, but I love doing it. It's fun and it pushes my, my limits as an actor.
That's awesome. So yeah, let's jump into your film Borrego. It's coming out in a few days. How did you get approached for this project? Tell us about that.
So I had the privilege of being in the short film version of Borrego back in 2017, Wind in the Night. And I got to see Alex grow and evolve into the story. I mean, I played someone with much less character development than Alex. So I really got to see her become a person and evolve into the story, which was really great. And I loved getting to be a part of the short film. And I couldn't have been more eager to play Alex 5 years ago or now.
Wow. How different was that from 5 years ago?
I mean, it's a different story. It's very weird. I mean, I was the only person also from the short film to come back into the feature, which was unbelievable. And I'm so lucky for that. But I mean, what it evolved into is beautiful. I mean, Jesse, our director, does an amazing job evolving our story.
You mentioned you play Alex. How different was Alex 5 years ago to the movie version? And how would you describe her?
She was just much less developed. And I don't think, at the time in the short film, I was the drug mule's daughter. So it was a different relationship and she didn't have much context to her. So, in our feature, she's really just a badass dirt bike riding tomboy. And she is who she is. And she's very determined, especially when her relationship when her relationship comes into Ellie, she's very determined when it comes to her. And I think that regardless of her dad's, status as a sheriff,
Mm,
she's a teenager. She's going to do what she wants. And her story is beautiful. I love it.
yeah. What do you think was the biggest challenge playing this character?
I think the biggest challenge was the emotional boundaries that it pushed. And I think for everyone, it really pushed emotional boundaries. I've never done a film like this before. So finding the emotion and also making it natural as possible was really important for us and for the film.
Yeah.
So I think just pushing the emotional boundaries and saving Ellie and getting drenched with gasoline, about to die, maybe losing my dad, it's just things I've never had to do on screen before. And I've also never dealt with in real life. So just the emotional boundaries that it pushed, I think it really pushes you to be the best actor you can be.
That's awesome. Now you mentioned the riding the motorcycles. Now, was that you, or is that a stunt double doing that? Were you able to
I
do it?
had some of it's were me, but I had an amazing stunt double. Her name is Julia. She was amazing. And, I mean, she is, if you watch the film, she's incredible. She rides it amazing. I did learn a little bit, but I'm not great at it. She really is, though.
So Nicholas Gonzalez, I got him coming up next. He plays your father in the movie. Describe that relationship, because that's like in waves the way you guys act with each other.
I remember our first day on set, and it was just a very instant connection. There was no like insane prep, like, oh, I want to form this sort of relationship with you. We just had it, and it just happened, and we let it happen. We kind
Mm.
of just let our chemistry be what it was on camera. And I think it really shows in the film. Our chemistry on and off screen is very real. And, he makes it so easy to have that sort of father bond. He has that sort of father projection, being a dad, and he's never worked with a kid before, so it was just
Oh wow.
really special to see what he had and what he brought to it, and he made our relationship that much easier on screen and off screen.
You mentioned you have to find Ellie, which is played by Lucy Hale. How would you guys describe that relationship with working with her too?
I think that because we were all living in a bubble for a month together and nobody else because of COVID,
Yeah.
we were all so close off camera that our relationships just, it really showcases in the film.
Mm.
And she's obviously amazing and really easy to work with, and working with such a great actor pushes you to be such a great actor, and you want to do as best as you can. And we're very close off camera, and so it made us very close on camera. So just spending every second with each other for a month straight makes you very close, and it showcases on screen.
Now this was filmed in Spain. How hot did it get? And when did you guys film this?
We filmed it in October of 2020.
Okay.
And the weather was crazy because it would get super hot, 100 degrees, and then it was freezing, 20 degrees. It was absolutely freezing. The weather was crazy, but I think that we all made it the best experience we could have possibly had, especially with our crew, which was amazing. We stayed with them too in the hotel. So, everyone, I think, just had a really great time, regardless of, being in the middle of nowhere with nothing to do.
You mentioned you were, Jesse Harris directed this and wrote it pretty much. How was it working under him, and like, how did you feel the direction of the film took while you guys were filming it?
Jesse is literally the most passionate person about this project in the world. He wrote it and he directed it, and it's been such a long journey for him in this film that seeing his passion makes you passionate, because all you want to do is execute his film and his vision in the exact way that he wants it. And he really made the environment so like nice and very heartwarming to be around. And it's really beautiful to see how passionate he is about this and how much he wants it and how excited he is about it. So I think it just made us all really excited about it and want to just be the best versions of ourselves that we could be for him and execute his film in exactly the way that he pictured.
Did you get a chance to watch the film after he put everything together? And what was your reaction to this after you watched it?
We did get to watch it, and my palms were sweating, my heart was racing. I've had so much anxiety the whole time watching it, and I think that it will definitely, make the audience very anxious and very, nervous for what's going to happen next. We were all just really proud of each other. I mean, I was so proud to see, Ladar and everything that Jorge does was amazing. And to see, Nick on camera and Lucy, I mean, everyone's just really excited.
Yeah, like the film I watched it the other night. It's got its ups and downs with like
Yeah.
the darkness, and there's a little action, and then there's like, oh, what's gonna happen at this part coming up?
Mhm.
It's like, so yeah, I mean, like, have you had friends or family that have watched this yet? What was their reaction?
I did have a friend that watched it, and my mom has watched it with me. The rest of my family is going to see it on Friday, January 14th, when it comes out. But I mean, it was the same thing. My friend was sweating. She was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. And my mom hadn't seen any of it yet. So she
Mm,
was very excited, but like, oh my God, this is my daughter doing this. Like, what's going to happen?
that's awesome. How can the listeners and the viewers find the film? Where can they see it? I know it's getting released some theaters. Is that what the goal is right now?
Yeah, it's going to be in select theaters. You can find it on Borrego Film on Instagram. And then other than that, you can find it on Amazon, Apple TV, things like that. So,
Yeah.
and Redbox, you can also find it there.
All right. And how can the listeners and viewers find you on social media?
I'm at Olivia Trujillo on Instagram and Twitter as well. Those are my two social medias. Anything else is not me.
All right, Olivia, thank you for coming on. This was fun.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really great.